Hey everyone, welcome back to an Excalibur Studios tutorial. In this one we're going to be going over how to implement the weapon bone to the Unreal Engine mannequin as seen in the Flashy Pistols pack. I will be using this character skeleton for future packs, so this will be a tutorial that can be used in future circumstances. So getting right into it, I opened up Unreal and created a new project. This is 4.27 and I just did a third-person template. I then imported the Flashy Pistols pack, which has all the animations and it has the character skeleton set up. It also has the pistol mesh. I then also imported this adventure woman that I found on the marketplace for free, and we're going to be using the Unreal Engine 4 mesh, and I'm going to do the full one. You can do it in the separate as well. So we're opening it up just to make sure that the skeleton is proper. You can see over here, yep, the root pelvis. This is the Unreal Engine 4 mannequin, and it's just this one character. She's available on the marketplace for free. So what we want to do is we want to right click on the character, the skeletal mesh, and we want to do asset actions and then export. I'm just going to make a simple folder on the desktop. It's going to be called weapon tutorial. Spelled that wrong. Oh well. And the character, keep the same file name, just save. Export. Alright, that's all we need to have right now. So closing out, the first program I'm going to use is Maya. I will be doing Blender as well. I have it opened, and we will be doing that one after I finish Maya, but the timestamp will be available in the comments down below. Alright, so here we are in Maya. There is a free student version of this program if you want to use this one. We want to go to File, Import, and we want to locate our character. So if we go to Desktop, there's the weapon tutorial folder, and the first one, boom. Character will take a second to import. And as you can see in Maya, the skeleton is properly set up, the character is visible, and we have the entire Unreal Engine mannequin from the root and everything all the way down, as well as the character. So what we want to do is at the top of the toolbar, you'll see there's a drop down here. It's going to be preset to modeling. We want to go to rigging, and we want to go to skeleton and create joints. And then up here at the top, there is a set to grid, snap to grid. I'm going to do space, go to front view, and I'm just going to create a single bone right there. That's all you need. Just click once on the grid and you have it. And you'll see over here in the outliner, it says joint 1. We're going to rename this to weapon R. This is going to be for the right hand. I'm just going to go press W and then drag it up to the top where the hand is. And then we go back into perspective. Now we want to position this bone to be in between the middle finger and the ring finger. So about here. I have it set up. I can go back to the Flashy Pistol character, and you can open up the skeleton if you want to get a little bit more precise. The coordinates are not accurate when implementing them in Maya. So if you select your weapon R bone in the skeleton tree under the Flashy Pistol skeleton, you'll see that it is located about in between the middle finger and the ring finger. It's located a little bit off of the hand. So we want to make sure we get about that placement. See, it's too far out, so we want to drag it up to about that. Alright, that looks pretty good. And we're going to want to go into front view. We want to duplicate this, and we want to go to the Translate X over in the channel box on the right hand side and delete the negative on Translate X. Now it's already it's in the exact position it needs to be for the left side. We just want to rename this to weapon underscore L. So those are our two bones. Now we need to parent them to the character itself. So to do that, we first select the weapon bone. Then in the outliner here, we need to navigate to the right hand. So it'll be under clavicle R, upper arm, lower arm, hand. Do control click on the hand. And we want to go to skeleton. No, we want to go to constrain parent. So now if we select that hand and we go to rotate mode, oops, that didn't work. Alright, so we want to select weapon R, control select hand R, P. Just press P, that's it. Now if you select hand R, you'll see the bone that we have added right here is rotating with the hand. We want to go do the same exact thing on the left hand side. So select the bone first. We can close up clavicle R. We can open up clavicle L and navigate to hand L. Control select. Remember, you have to select the weapon bone first, then the hand, and just press P. Now you select, double check, make sure it works. You can see it's following. Alright, that's all you need to do for Maya to add it in. Okay, so now that the character is all set, we're going to select the root, select hierarchy, control select the skeleton, and we're going to export selection. We're going to name it female character Maya weapons, export selection. I'm going to delete those. So we start with a fresh folder. Alright, so then in Unreal Engine, we're going to create a new folder, weapon Maya female, import, and find your Maya weapons character, open. Keep all this import options the same. Give it a second to import. And the smoothing groups, this error just means that your bones that you added aren't constrained to anything. There's no like mesh part that it's going to be deforming, they're just random bones. So you have your imported character, you have the mesh, physics, and skeleton. Make sure that the weapon bones, that's odd, that shouldn't be like that. Well, we're going to try this anyways. In the retarget manager, go to select rig, select humanoid rig. Don't do auto map or anything, just leave it the way it is because the skeleton is named the right way. So we're going to go to show advanced, and all the way at the bottom you're going to see custom right here. We're going to add in 2 custom joints. So the first one we want to do is weapon L, and then for the second one we want to do weapon R. Save it. Make sure in here, go to preview scene settings on the right hand side, do apply to asset. If you don't do that, it won't show up in the retarget manager. Alright, let's close, save everything. Now if this works, you should be able to go to flashy pistol, animations, let's just do the first ability because that has a flourish in it, retarget anim asset. So right click the animation, retarget anim asset, duplicate anim asset, and retarget. We want to find our character rig right there. It'll be female Maya character weapons. And I'm going to change the folder name in the right hand part of the window. We're just going to put it right in the new folder that we made and retarget. Now, to make sure it works, the character is animating properly, but we want to make sure that our weapon bone is animating the way it should be. So, we're going to go to weapon R, right click, add a socket. This is going to be our weapon socket. Add a preview asset, and inside here we have our sci-fi pistol. You'll see that, oh, it's all messed up. That's okay, that's how sockets are imported in. Normally it's at 0, 0, 0. We need to now adjust the socket so it fits in her hand. So I'm going to turn off snap rotate and snap alignment, and you just rotate the weapon and then place it in her hand Her hand is a bit small, so we could, if we wanted to, scale it. I'm not going to worry about scaling it. Just, you want to make sure that the trigger area is on where her finger is. That's pretty good. There's a little clipping there. That's because her hand is a bit smaller than the Unreal Engine mannequin, which is scaled to a male body. You can kind of push that forward if you want. Alright, and if we scroll through, look at that. The pistol is now flourishing in her hand, and we can test it with all the other things. You don't even have to adjust the socket anymore. Once you get it into a spot you like in the traditional aiming pose, test out the other animations. Flashy pistol. Let's do a quick draw. Quick draw to idle flourish. Let's try that one. That's pretty cool. Duplicate. Boom. Change the location to weapon, and then retarget. And look at that. Boom. You have a character now flourishing their weapon. That's for Maya. Now we're going to do Blender. So we're going to make a new folder in here. Weapon, Blender, female. Alright, so same thing. We already have the character exported. We're going to open up Blender. I have a brand new, this is Blender 4.3.2. I haven't gone around to downloading 4.4 yet. Select everything, delete it. File, import, FBX. And we want to locate our folder, weapon tutorial. Make sure you select SK UE4 Adventure Female. That's the original one that we exported before. Import the FBX. Now you'll see the skeleton normally in Blender for Unreal is not supported properly, so the bones are all like wacky. So this this part takes a little bit of adjusting. And the importing into Unreal will be a little bit different. So we're gonna select the skeleton, tab into edit mode, deselect everything just by clicking off to the side, and we're gonna do Shift A to add a new bone. With this new bone, I'm gonna go into front view so it's cleaner. I'm gonna G to grab, and I'm gonna bring it right over to here. Over in the outliner on the right hand side, I want to rename this to Weapon R. Okay. And now what we need to do is we need to position the head and the tail to be along the palm of the hand. So if we go, that's about where that would go. And just G, drag the tail. I want to make sure it's, see, this is backwards right now. Oops. We need to now have this tail about here. So we line it up, make sure it lines up straight along the palm. Haven't used Blender in a while, so. Okay, so that's along the palm that we need. I want to make sure that's straight too. You don't want like an angle, you want it to be a little more straight than that. Okay, that's Weapon R. Now let's do Shift D, right click to set it back to the normal. Weapon L, rename it. And in front view, we're gonna drag it over to the other side. And this is gonna be our left hand bone. Remember, select the head, bring it down to there, the tail, bring it to the, and bring it into the palm. Looks pretty good. Okay. Now we need to parent those bones to the hand. So that'll require using the outliner on the right hand side. Open up the pelvis, spine. It's the same exact hierarchy as in Maya and Unreal Engine. So go to the clavicle L, upper arm L, lower arm L. Same as in Maya. Select the weapon L first. You have to select the weapon bone first. And then you control select the hand L. The reason you do that is because you want to have the weapon bone parented to the hand. You don't want the hand parented to the weapon bone. If you do it that way, the constraints and the weights that are already set up are all going to go out of whack, and then the hand won't move anymore. So remember, weapon L first, then hand L, control select. I'm going to control P. And you have two options, keep offset or connected. You want to keep the offset, so then the bone stays in place. We can test that now by selecting the hand, rotate. Wait, hold on. Oh, I'm in edit mode. That's why. I forget what the hotkey is for pose mode. Well, trust me, this is how it'll work. So close up clavicle L, open up clavicle R. I have hand R, so remember, weapon bone first, then hand, control P, keep offset. All right, bones are all set up. Select everything, export FBX, and we're just gonna put it in here. I'm gonna call this female character blender weapons and export. All right, back in Unreal, we created our folder, weapon blender female. Import her. Keep all the import options the same. Don't touch anything here. Just import. It'll have all these end bones all pop up. Those are added. That's the annoying part about Blender, is it adds in these extra bones because the bones in Blender have to have a head and a tail, whereas in Maya they don't. That's why I do prefer to use Maya. So save everything. Open up your skeleton. You can check and see to make sure it's all there. Yep, everything looks good. And we have the weapon L, and you'll see there's a weapon L end. That's the tailbone. That's the one that we're going to be retargeting to. So remember that. Go to preview scene settings, apply it, save. All right, retarget manager. You select your rig, do select humanoid rig. Don't touch anything here. The rig is already set up properly. Show advanced. Down in the custom area, for custom 1, we want to set it to the weapon L. But as I mentioned before, there's a weapon L end and a weapon L. Choose weapon L end because that is the tail of the bone that will have the proper retargeting. Same goes for the weapon R. Make sure you select weapon R end. Save it. And now if we go to flashy pistol, we are going to do the same ability 1. And we want to change the location to Blender. And make sure you choose the name. It is Blender Weapon. Retarget. And you'll see, alright, character animates properly. There's no odd deformities in there. Go to the first frame, and we want to go down and add the socket to weapon R end. Add a socket. And we're going to do add a preview asset, add in the SK Sci-Fi pistol. You'll see it's all out of whack. That's because in Unreal, the sockets, as mentioned, are set to 0, 0, 0. So we need to rotate it and place it in our hand. Again, the pistol is slightly bigger because it's scaled to the Unreal 4 mannequin, which is set to a male body. You can scale it down, but for the sake of this video, I'm just going to use it as is. And just like that, we've got our pistol in the hand. You want to make sure the end of the bone up here is at the index finger, so because that's where it's going to rotate around. All right, and look at that. It's a little bit off in some spots. That's okay. You can just tweak, and you can see it sets it properly. Boom. All right. Now, if you want to test another animation, let's test a different one this time. We're going to test let's do holstered, quick draw holster. Remember blender, retarget. Oh, I forgot to put it in there, so I'm just gonna drag and drop it. There you go. Look at that. You've got a pistol flourish for your character. It does clip through a little bit. That's just the weapon bone. You can adjust the socket slightly. However, I did design them to be fast, so they don't really see it. It will take a little bit of adjusting in Blender because of the way that the skeletons are set up, so you can go back in and adjust the positioning of the bone. If you want to bring it closer to the middle finger, that might help with the clipping. And you can do it on both sides, so if you select both at the same time, you should be able to. Oops. Yeah. And if we just bring that down a little bit, like so. And then you re-import the character, put it back in. But that concludes this tutorial. I'm going to have an Unreal Engine 5 one next. Unreal Engine 5 is a lot easier to retarget. They have retarget IK sets and stuff. But that's it for this one. Thank you for tuning in, and